Before beginning this, whatever is going to take place, something becomes apparent to those that have managed to overcome this human dualistic way. Not devalue it, not remove it, but to realize that through its validity, one has to be non-dual before non-duality can even be considered. And what becomes apparent is that whatever or whoever is seeking for a purposeful resolution. Is this not true? I would like to resolve something. So in a time-based world, this resolution or this revealing or this encounter may take 20 years. But to the one that is experiencing it, it is not taking place in time. It is a timeless moment. So that this I that wants to resolve something calls forward this ego I that has been dancing like a puppet. The ego I is always active, always everywhere, always moving around. This mirror I, this in-between I that is pure, still, silent, you could call it that guardian, that teacher, watching its little baby I, having fun, playing around. It could take 20 years before it catches its attention. So therefore, when it suddenly gets exhausted or tired, it meets itself. Yeah? And something is shared. And this is very personal to this I that you are. And this I that thinks it is everywhere, can rule the world, can be a failure, can be a success, can work in all areas, can learn, can use intelligence, can be foolish, can be ignorant, can be all these states of all these thoughts. And in this meeting, something is resolved. And this I bows, turns around and goes back to play. And this time it plays in a different way. It plays in a different way. Because in this meeting, all that is taking place is this one reminds this I what its purpose is. Not a purpose like you, the mind would think of. You have to go back and be a joiner. You have to go back and help people. Yeah? All that is reminding this one is, you already know your purpose. You're playing about, you're having a laugh, you're fooling around. A reminder of what your purpose is, just by recognizing yourself in the mirror. That's who I am. That's why I came here. Now I must go back and do it properly this time. And this is not about life, death, birth. This is happening every moment of your life. Every moment, every day, every month, every year. This I stands waiting. And every now and then you fly past it and you ignore it. When I say you, mini I and big I, or you and God, or consciousness and the one moment, or life and Brahman, it matters not what the language is. And that's all that takes place. The longer you stand in front of the mirror, the longer this resolution is made, it can appear that you don't want to go back, that you are totally experiencing full-blown enlightenment. I don't want to go back. And as Pure Eye says, you've no choice. You have got no choices. Because when the light of consciousness shines on both of us, which is enshrouding this dualistic two eyes, there's no choice. Because consciousness itself is life creating this dance. Come back and play. Consciousness is the music. It is the stage. It is everything for this mini I, this ego I, to play on. And every time this experience, this moment, this reconciliation takes place, sometimes it's like anything else. It's just a mini encounter. Hi, and away. And in many cases, when this one is so off the back, hey, remember your purpose. Your purpose, you already know. This one does not explain. You're not looking for an inquiry to experience yourself, to remind you of the purpose. You know your purpose. It's just a forgetfulness. And this will continue while consciousness creates life for you and your whatever self you want to call yourself. So what does this speaker speak about when it speaks about no more appearing as I? What does this speaker speak about? What does it mean to say, well, if this is what it is, even after this body disappears, because I is not the body, and I is appearing as the body. So when this body disappears, there's an idea that this one just goes. No, this one returns and faces up again. And if consciousness shines again, right, go back, you know your purpose, same purpose as before, and away again. So, what means truth? Truth means simply this: that through all these meetings, these reconciliations, these reminders, whether 7-year enlightenment, whether 1 second enlightenment, whether in a dream state at night, whether in a synchronistic state, I'm always looking outward to what my purpose is. I know my purpose, but something always pulls me home to say, hey, like you do with your child, come on, you know. This final reconciliation is what this speaker is speaking about. It's the stage before Christ. It's the stage before Buddha. It's the stage before all those that have totally overcome a desire and a need to return here as whatever consciousness requires you to be. You have no choices. On this planet, as a human, as a spirit, as a soul, or beforehand, you have a purpose. And your purpose has to be fulfilled. And you have no choice about that, because you're always going to have to come back and be reminded or corrected or pointed in the right direction. The step before Christ is when this awakening takes place. And you can have many awakenings, thousands of awakenings. In fact, you are having thousands of awakenings. Thousands of mini enlightenment experiences. Many, oh wow, haha, I'm so glad I met you. Right, let's go back. When an enlightenment takes place that is so profound that this one does not allow this one to proceed, because it says, job done. You have served your purpose. And on this meeting, the tears and the knowing and the wisdom engulfs, because consciousness appears as this wonderful finale, this curtain, where the stage finally opens for that last bow from the actors. And there is that last bow, and consciousness enshrouds it, and consciousness gives permission, and consciousness says no more. So this speaker that appears here as a body and a mind understands fully through the wisdom of this final meeting, which Rumi speaks about, St. Francis of Assisi speaks about, where there is something that cannot separate you from yourself. And you live out this life in harmony and bliss. And there is a merging, and you become non-dual. But something still lives on. Something is still fluttering in the background. And it's of no concern. It is a wonderful fluttering, because it's like, I'm still here. I'm still alive. I exist. But I cannot be separate again. I cannot leave what I am again. I cannot leave myself, my pure self. I have become that non-dual thing with myself. My world and everything within it has unified, has become reunited. And this experience of, I think they call it nirvana, is not just like any other temporary experience where it comes and goes. This experience is ongoing. The umbilical cord has been reconnected. There is no escaping this truth. You have served your purpose, and you know nothing about it. You don't even know what you've done. You don't even know if you deserve it. You don't even know if it made a difference to the world. But it made a difference to that unified you and yourself and consciousness when everything becomes one, because that's the job. The purpose is to bring everything that you are, not just your human body, not just your mind, not just your stories, your ideas in this human world, but your spirit, your soul, your consciousness, your higher self, your Brahman, your God, your whatever state, whatever name you want to call it, and they all become one. And you remain as this single gem. But there's not a you and God, a you and consciousness, a you and self. There is only that what is. That what is myself. As that what it is. So, for anyone, the only thing that this one can really offer is to say this, that anyone that appears to be seeking for for some sort of unification, some sort of being reunited, for some sort of question. Give me my life purpose. Explain to me, what is it that I know I'm looking for something. What is it that I'm looking for? You're simply hovering around. Yeah? And when the mind, the ego state gets confused and cannot, or fearful, because it knows, because this last revelation, this last reconciliation, you know this is the end. This is absolutely the end of appearing as this human, in this human universe. And you know what lies after, or it matters not. You have done it. So many are floating about, most who are seeking a purpose, a need to find some truth, a need to find God, a need to know something before this body dies. It's just simply not out here. They're here. But something says, I'm too frightened. And something at the last moment turns its back. And it's called depression, anxiety. It's called dark night of the soul. It's called, I may commit suicide if I don't turn around. And it's all over. In a beautiful way, a profound way, a deep way. And you still exist in this body. And this meeting is there, and some shadow effect, some memory system is allowing this body to continue. Not to prosper, not to gain, not to attain, not to want, not to desire, not to attach to, not to associate with, not to teach or be anything special, but just the wisdom to say, seek. And if you seek through your own instinctive knowing, your own instinctive purpose, and we're not looking for mind purposes, head purposes, we're looking from that internal core. It's always calling you, always meeting you in reconciliations every day, but you are not aware of that because mind is always saying, no, forget that, oh, come on, yeah, oh, no, back, no, back. The truth is within you. But it matters not what the speaker says, because it may not be, it's very personal, very time-based, and you served your purpose, you see. I don't know my purpose. Yes, you do. You know your purpose. Every one of us knows our purpose. It's not what we call in our country rocket science, because rocket science is up there, from here. It's simply inbred. It's simply ingrained. It's simply within your whole core being. The purpose of living. The purpose of being, the purpose of that what you are. Find out everything about you. And to find out everything about you, you must meet more often. And to meet more often, you must ignore what is going on in this wonderful external world of ideas and thoughts and concepts and illusions and veils. It's don't dismiss it. Love it. Enjoy it. Experience it. Fulfill it. Be a human. But remember, when you go, don't seek for an answer. When desperation comes, when anxiety comes, when depression comes, don't look for something out there. Look within and see yourself, and you'll fall in love again. and stay with yourself until you absolutely are one with yourself. And you merge with yourself. And everything becomes one. And God is in this stance. Wow. I prayed for this to happen, says God. I pray for every one of them to serve their purpose and reunite and become one. Now, enter my kingdom of heaven, my paradise. I love you as I do, as I am. I love you as that, what I am, says God. And meaning you are a reflection of me. Namaste.